hanging out with Cora right here. How you doing?
I'm annoyed.
Why are you annoyed?
I have to defeat the little chica de Ola Ola, Nair Robles, at Intense Wrestling Alliance. I'm gonna bury you! You hear that? You better.
Better watch out in here. This is Papa Dank. I am hanging out and actually helping sell Tiffany Avatar's merch. We are at the merch table right here. Show all that merch. We got t-shirts. We got ducks, unicorns. We have lollipops. We have pictures. We have beads. And more shirts. And more candy. We got cotton candy. Look at that. Cotton candy from the Cotton Candy Princess. If you can't come down to any of her shows she's at, you can DM Tiffany Avatar and she will mail you your merchandise that you want. So don't forget, help support Tiffany Avatar because she's awesome.
I just want to say that it was super rude of you to walk away from me.
You're talking to the New York State champion. You're going to have to pay up.
Do you take kale?
Dude, goodbye.
Whipwreck, Cation, doesn't matter.
We'll see what happens, but it looks like we have a special guest.
Get my earplugs on.
No. You was looking for Tina, and then you talk about people dominate tonight, all right? The Dirty Deeds, they got nothing.
We're now the new Starlet champion. What's going on?
Hi, I am fearless princess, so why not team up?
All right, now just announced by Mr. Joel Maximo for February.
It's called the Shadow Ban, and I was like, that's kind of...
Hold on. Let me speak. Okay?
But today I got a very special guest. I got the great.
Welcome once again to Beyond the Barricade. I'm your host, Papa Dank, and today I got a very special guest tonight as I bring up the NYWC logo in the corner. All right, this Saturday night is April Rain, and it's going to be a big one. Look at that. There's an A1G right there, teaming up with Alvin Alvarez and Nuke against the Extricated. Yikes. All right, let me bring to you the one, the only A1G.
Yeah. What's up, man?
What's going on, brother? How are you tonight?
I'm doing good. And yourself?
I'm doing great, man. Before you go into your history, let's go over April Rain real quick. Now, you are teaming up with Alvin and Nuke against Extricated. Yikes. How is this going to go for you guys?
See, because this goes all the way back to Psycho Circus. In that battle royal, they chose to jump me. Now, that's crazy. 1 against 3, they want to reform Extricated to eliminate me. But it's fine, though, because I got it back in blood last month. Do their whole fatal 4-way hardcore, whatever the hell that wants to be called. They I got it back in blood. I interrupted them, helped Jared get the win, secure the win, whatever you want. And this month, I get my hands on all 3 of them. And I call in 2 other big men. Hall of Famer Nuke and Alvin, who's been tearing it up lately.
He has been tearing it up lately. This is sure to be a banger. This Saturday night, April Rain. Make sure you get your tickets at NYWCProWrestling.com or use that QR code to get your tickets. And I want to go over a couple of things real quick for the Saturday show. But tomorrow night at 7, me and the Cancer Fighter, Sean Wachter, will be going over the card itself. I want to talk about that main event real quick. If I can pull it up here. Where is it? There it is. It is Joey Conway, the NYWC champion, versus one of the SATs himself, Joel Maximo, who was in the NYWC Hall of Fame. This Saturday, April Rain. I want to get your thoughts on the main event real quick.
That match,
yes,
is gonna go crazy. Joey has been at the forefront of NYWC ever since I've been here. Because when I came in, he was Fusion champion, tearing on that. Now he's the world champion. And he's been knocking down He's been knocking down people left, right. But Joel Maximo, co-creator of the Spanish Fly,
That's right.
You can't like you exactly like you can't kind of like weighing in the options. So it's kind of like part of me wants to say Joey, but then Joel can he can take this. And especially because they both know each other, especially with Win and everything.
They know each other very well.
Exactly.
All right. Let's get into your history. Let's talk about how you fell in love with professional wrestling.
So I used to watch it a lot with my mom when I was a kid, but I don't want to say grew out of it because she stopped watching it, so I kind of stopped watching it. But I believe it was 2013. I was flipping channels and I happened to stop on Raw, and it was a CM Punk promo. It was CM Punk promo kind of hyping up his match with John Cena that next week to see who faces The Rock at WrestleMania.
Right.
So I got kind of sold on that promo. So I'm like, oh, I have to check out the show next week. So I checked out the show, and that match, they were pulling stuff out of that match that I didn't even know was like, because they were doing a lot of moves that they shouldn't have been doing, especially at WWE at that time. I believe CM Punk did a pile driver. John Cena did a Hurricanrana. It was like things that kind of blew my mind, and ever since then, I've been kind of like watching on a weekly basis, getting the pay-per-views, trying to go to shows. I'm trying to go to more shows actually. So that's kind of how I fell in love with it, and kind of how I got started was kind of I've always wanted to try and get my foot in the door, but I've always thought that I'm too small, I wouldn't get looked. But then I see guys like Daniel Bryan, AJ Styles, Adam Cole, they get to where they got in their careers. So that kind of said, okay, so maybe someone like me, I can kind of get to that level. I can become a professional wrestler. And it so happens that I found a John Silver seminar that I believe NYWC was doing at the time. So I kind of went to that, and the rest is history.
The rest is history. Now, speaking of NYWC, NYWC's own Willow Nightingale capturing the TBS title for AEW. How does that make you feel as a member of the NYWC roster, where a fellow former member is now the TBS champion in a major promotion?
This really hits home. This really hits home with me because when I first started, she was actually kind of one of my trainers.
Okay.
So she kind of helped me start to get my foot in the door in professional wrestling. So now kind of seeing where she was to where she is now, it's like I can't even put into words of how great I felt. The moment she won that title, me and the crew that was watching, tears of joy.
That's
awesome. One of us did it. One of us has a major title currently in a major company right now.
That is great stuff, man. And she's such a nice person. I met her a couple of times in person, and so genuinely nice.
She was.
There's a lot of fake people in this business. You and I both know that, but she is genuinely really nice.
Exactly. She was kind of one of the first to kind of will come up to me at Circus this year and say, congratulations in the Battle Royal. The crowd was really behind you. Keep up the good work.
That's awesome, man. All right, let's go into some story. You mentioned Willow was one of your trainers. Did you have any other trainers while you were training?
Yeah, I had Rex Lawless. I had Mike Mondo, Michael Mastretta, Dickie Rods.
Dickie, that's my boy, Dickie.
Exactly. too. My first technically official match in NYWC was against him. So that's kind of like trainer now, trainee face to trainer. That was great.
All right. So tell me about that first match real quick. What was your reaction to going out to a live crowd like that?
It was kind of like unreal for me because it's kind of like this is something I wanted to do, and now hearing my music, walking out, hearing the crowd kind of, they didn't know me at first, but seeing how they got behind me so quickly, it brought emotions that I can't even put into words. I was the entrance I did there is kind of like, you could say similar to what Sage does now. I was jumping, I was screaming, I was like, let's go, first match, baby. Now the outcome didn't go.
I don't know.
But
I don't. Sorry to interrupt you for a second, but I don't know what it is about you NYWC guys, but you guys just love to yell at me. Sage, Amity, like what's going on?
company of screamers, let me tell you.
I guess
Everyone screams. Everyone.
Screaming 101. All right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, that's pretty much. Yeah, that was like that first match kind of helped me. It kind of like said, okay, it kind of put me into trajectory for kind of like what I would do more in the future.
Okay.
Of the company.
Awesome. We got a comment from you. Brianne over here wants to know who is your favorite fan.
Well, the one who's commenting is my favorite.
There you go. You just made her day, man. Although if it was Giorgio here, I think Giorgio would win in all of us.
Unfortunately, he would.
All right, let's go next. Your toughest match to date in your career. Who was it against and why was it so difficult for you?
My toughest match?
Yes.
Believe it, it was against Giorgio.
Giorgio? Okay,
Yeah.
why was it so difficult?
Yeah. I think this was when he was defending when I faced him for the Fusion. Because
Okay.
I faced him 2 months before, but kind of like that match was kind of like surreal because that was my first title match. So that's
awesome.
kind of like me kind of like getting the butters of one, like the butterflies of one facing one of my good friends. And someone I trained with came up with, and another one was kind of possibly winning my first title. So it's kind of like the butterflies, the edginess, being ready, being on edge all day.
Right.
But got out there, did our thing. Once again, the outcome didn't come my way, but you got to fall to go to get up.
Okay. All right. Tell me about an opponent you want to wrestle that you haven't wrestled yet. How come?
An opponent I want to wrestle.
Anybody in the indies, and don't try to stay out of NYWC for a moment.
I got you. I want to face, and this was kind of like, and this guy's like another reason why I kind of got into professional wrestling, and it's Leo Rush.
Leo Rush.
Yeah, because it's like the same thing of kind of like being like that short guy, like that short like black guy that kind of like found his way to the top of a top promotion in WWE, former cruiserweight champion, paired up with Bobby Lashley, going on Raw every night. We got to walk the stage at WrestleMania in New York, of all places. Yeah. So like facing him, learning from him, getting like that one-on-one knowledge of being in the ring with someone like that can really teach me a lot and kind of help me on my way in my journey to possibly getting up there into WWE.
Okay, good, man. If you can have an intergender match with someone, who would it be and why?
It'd be our TBS champion, Willow
Nightingale versus A1G. That would be teacher versus student.
Yes, because I feel like because like it was kind of like she left kind of when I was starting to kind of get my way in. So I kind of there's more things that I wish I could learn. So being in the ring with her, feel like I can learn some more. I could get and it's kind of like it'll boost my stock knowing that I've kind of went in the ring with Willow Nightingale. It'll help me a lot.
Okay. All right. Now you were part of the free for all for Titan Championship Wrestling. What was your experience like through that whole process?
The experience was, go in there, work hard, make a name for yourself. That's kind of like that's kind of like my mindset was. Show the people what they haven't seen yet. Shown like everyone what the A1G is capable of. And I felt like, I went in there. I didn't get top 10, but I also wasn't, one of the guys that they were like, oh, well, he's not going to come back. I've been pulled apart and said, you got it, kid. Keep working, keep on grinding, and we'll see you real soon.
All right. That's good stuff. I love to hear that stuff because I am part of Chosen Pro Wrestling myself and hope to see you there one day, sir.
Yep.
But I will definitely see you this Saturday night because we got NYWC's April Rain. And we better sell that place out this Saturday. So whoever's watching, get your tickets, but don't come alone. Bring a family member, a friend, a cousin, a stranger off the street. Just bring them in. Let's pack the house in this Saturday night.
Yes. Come watch me get it back in blood. Come watch me whip Bam, whip Aiden, putting Mouse in a trap. Watch me do it all.
100%. All right, let's go into some of your favorite things. What do you like to do for fun, A1?
Do for fun? Well, if it's not wrestling, because I would say wrestling, but let's try and stay away from that. It's kind of like, like I play games. I like, kind of like working, like trying to get into shape. I try to like shape what I like to do with kind of like what's gonna get me to that next level. So I kind of like, working out, exercising, playing games, kind of getting the mind right.
Okay. Did you get a chance to watch Iron Claw?
Iron Claw? I did not get a chance to watch that, but I've seen the stories. I kind of know, like I know about this. I know about the tragic story, and I know of the story, and that is one of the movies on my to watch list.
All right, give me the last movie you saw that you enjoyed.
The last movie I watched that I enjoyed. What did I go see recently?
And I hope it's not Abigail, because that's on my list to go see.
No, I did not see Abigail yet. I want to though.
I heard it's really good.
I want to because it's something about like scary movies that I don't get scared. It's like it's one of those things where it's like I find them more kind of like hilarious than like scary. I don't know if I'm the only one that feels that way, but I find them more hilarious. And it's maybe because I haven't watched the right ones because I'm not like a horror guy, but the ones I have watched, I just like find them like funny.
Okay, all right. I get scared, so I'll get scared for both of us. All right. All right. Last movie you saw that you enjoyed.
Last movie. I think the last movie that I could actually say that I enjoyed was and I know a lot of people kind of didn't like it, but it was Batman. Like the with I think is his name Robert Pattinson? I just know him as like okay,
yes. The Twilight guy, Rob Pattinson.
The Twilight guy. Yeah. A lot of people didn't like it because it kind of like they felt like it took too long. But I feel like if you're like an actual fan of kind of like DC Marvel and you kind of get the story, it's kind of it's like it's worth the wait to kind of like watch it through. It's because it is like a long movie. It's a 3-hour movie, I believe.
Yes.
So yeah. So like if you like sit down and like watch it full through, you kind of like get to like, okay, I see what they're trying to do. It's like one of those like slow burn movies.
Okay. Yeah, I thought that too. I think after the Christopher Nolan series, they went into the Ben Affleck portion of it. I think they needed to ground it a little bit more.
Exactly.
I enjoyed it. The only thing I didn't like was like he wasn't buff. Like he's buff. That's the only thing I didn't like. But I loved his performance.
Yeah, because I think everyone was like still the fact that Ben Affleck wasn't doing it anymore, so they didn't want to accept that this person was doing it.
Yes.
Kind of same like Spider-Man. Like when Andrew Garfield was announced that he was doing it, everyone was mad. Like, oh, why isn't it Tobey Maguire?
Tobey. Yeah. Speaking of which, what did you think of the last Spider-Man film when you saw all of them together?
Oh, it was like a mixture of I want to say my life all in one. Because I remember watching the Tobey Spider-Man when I was a kid. So that's kind of like what I want to say I grew up on. Then as I got like later in life, I saw the Andrew one being probably one of the few people who actually liked this. Because I just like Spider-Man in general. So I really didn't care who played it. It's another Spider-Man movie. I'm going to go watch it.
Right. I enjoyed Andrew Garfield.
I
thought Andrew Garfield was great. I have an autographed Funko of his.
Oh, nice. Yeah, because people didn't like Andrew because it was so fresh that everyone wanted Tobey.
Yes.
So like
they didn't give him a chance.
And then now we have Tom Holland, which honestly is doing a great job.
He's doing a fantastic job, Tom Holland. And he will be back for Spider-Man 4 and Secret Wars and all that good stuff, man.
I can't wait for that. I cannot wait for that.
I can't wait for it either, man. They just don't know who the villain's going to be because, obviously the plans change because of the situation, but I'm excited either way, man.
Yeah, I heard it could be Doctor Doom.
I heard that as well. I heard Doctor Doom or a different actor playing Kang.
Yeah.
So I guess it's just a wait and see at this point. But coming up soon is Deadpool versus Wolverine.
And there it is again. That's what I'm waiting for.
Oh my God. Did you see some of the mutants coming back?
Yeah. I didn't. I saw kind of Because I'm just flushed because we finally get to see him in the suit. So I think that's all I'm kind of worried about. And it's like it's Logan, like Hugh Jackman playing it, and it wasn't like some like a new actor playing
Yeah.
it.
Yes. I
So
agree,
just
man.
seeing that, just bringing it all together, and the Deadpool is just what it's kind of like what I want to be like as a wrestler, just kind of like a Deadpool type character as a wrestler.
I hear you, man. I'm excited to see Azazel back from First Class.
Oh,
I saw him. I'm like, oh shit, they brought him back. Azazel. He was like the Red Nightcrawler.
Yeah, because I was skimming through it, I was watching it, but I really wasn't like focused in it. But now I gotta go back.
Yeah, he's in it. I didn't honestly when I first saw the trailer, I didn't pay attention to that because I think they flashed it real quick. But once people posting the stills of it, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh shit, fucking Azazel, Kalisto, whole bunch of stuff. Lady Deathstrike's in it, whole bunch of people in that show, man. I'm excited.
It's gonna be crazy.
I'm a big Marvel fan.
I know. I saw I just recently saw that like in that there's like the Ant-Man kind of body.
Yeah, the head. Yeah, it opens up. Yeah.
His head is like a layer or something.
Yeah, and then you see like the logo of 20th Century Fox like in the sand.
Yeah, I'm like,
I thought that was a great touch, man. I think people are gonna really enjoy this film.
they are.
100%. All right, let's go back into wrestling. Tell me about a company you want to work for that you haven't worked there yet. How come do you want to work for this wrestling company? And let's keep it in the independent scene for now.
Okay. I really want to work for DPW.
DPW.
No,
Okay.
no. Well, DPW, but VPW eventually. DPW eventually.
All right, DPW. All right.
DPW.
How come you want to work for DPW?
Because it's kind of like the range that because they are like a small company, but they've done so much in their like small time. Like you see the names that kind of were made from DPW. You kind of see like the names that are coming to DPW. So I feel like that's like a good place to kind of like make a mark for yourself, make a name for yourself. They have a lot of AEW guys showing up there, a lot of TNA guys showing up there. So getting in the ring with one of them can kind of open the doors of possibly saying, hey, maybe this guy is a guy to look out for. Right. Maybe this guy's a guy to give a chance to. So yeah, that's kind of you're all good. So that's kind of like DPW is kind of like where I want to land. New York wise, I would love to do House of Glory.
House of Glory. I like to go to House of Glory too. Can someone get me an A1G into House of Glory? At least one show, right?
Yeah, exactly. Because I've been to a couple of their shows, and the vibe, the atmosphere, the fanfare is just it's somewhere where you want to compete against. It's somewhere you want to compete in. Somewhere you want to like do your thing and let people know like you're surrounded by true wrestling fans. Because I go there and all I see are the titles. I see people chanting, "This is awesome. This sucks. Holy shit!" Like that's just a place that you want to like work in.
Right. Okay. All right. Let's go into one of the big companies. Tell me which one would best fit your style. Either be WWE, AEW, TNA.
I feel like what would best fit my style is more WWE.
Okay.
Because it's kind of like I'm more on that, like I like to tell stories in my matches. So I like to do something, and if it doesn't work, come back to it later. Like I wouldn't say I'm not fast paced. Like I could do the fast paced stuff, like the whole back and forth like AEW, but I'm more like okay, we're gonna take it slow in the beginning, and then we're really gonna kick it into second gear towards the end. So I feel like WWE would more kind of match my style. But if I'm to be honest, I kind of want to go the AJ Styles route. I kind of more want to start in TNA, make a name for myself, and then after that, if I have a chance to go up to one of the bigger companies, whether that be WWE or AEW,
right?
Whichever one sends me a check first.
All right.
Contract first.
Good stuff, man. Yeah, I hear you, man. I'm waiting for my contract. See, you never know what can happen in professional wrestling. That's for sure.
Exactly.
If CM Punk go back to WWE, anything's possible.
That's literally what I live everything by wrestling now. If CM Punk can come back, anything can happen. I can't rule anything out now.
So you currently watch WWE?
Yep.
What for you has been the most exciting thing recently about WWE?
I feel what has been like all of the changes, like the titles, like the new tag belts that we have.
Those are
I would
nice.
say for Raw and reverting kind of back to the older style for SmackDown's tag titles.
Right.
The new champions, mainly Damian Priest, because he wasn't a guy that at first you would expect to be a world champion, but I
Right.
kind of want to see what he does.
Me too.
Also, I want to see what they do with Bailey, because she's like, as of now, like her and I would say Becky, because the four horsewomen.
Mhm.
But we have Sasha or Mercedes in AEW. Charlotte's injured, so I kind of see what Bailey does, because Bailey is on a roster with the big stars like Bianca, Jade, Naomi, Tiffy. But like Becky just being crowned the Raw, the women's world champion. I want to see what she does, because Raw really doesn't have any like heavy hitters.
Strong contenders. Yeah, I felt the same way.
Yeah, because in that battle royal, I'm watching that battle royal. I'm like, well, there's only 3 people that can win this, and it's pretty obvious who's gonna win it. I think we all walked in knowing Becky was gonna win.
Yeah, I thought Becky or Nia, one of the two.
Yeah, that's like for me, it was either Becky, Nia, or Liv, but I was really pushing for Nia or Liv, because it would have been interesting to see what they could have done with the world title. Because we've seen what Becky can do. It's time to see kind of like what newer people. We're in like a new era, so I want to see what new people can do with the title.
Speaking of that, I'd like to see Miss Tiffy Time herself, Tiffany Stratton, hold that title.
Tiffy Time all the time.
Tiffy Time all the time. The center,
next
the center of the
champion.
universe.
Calling it next champion.
Okay, all right. Traveling overseas, which country would you like to go if you had the opportunity to go to?
I would like to go to the UK.
The UK. Okay.
Yeah.
Is there a particular reason why you want to go there?
Because I feel like they have like a strong base knowledge of professional wrestling that's like heavily slept on. I feel like when asked the question, everyone's gonna pick Japan, obvious reasons for New Japan, or everyone's gonna pick Mexico for the lucha aspect. But UK, that's like heavy hitters.
Right.
Like you go like that's British strong style, like as they call it sometimes. That's like, and it's also like kind of great technical wrestling, which I'm like trying to like dabble more in, because I kind of like know more technical wrestling aspect, because I could do the whole brawling, I could do a little bit high flying, but I want to dip my like feet into like some technical wrestling.
Okay. What has been the best advice anyone has ever given you in the business? So
the best advice that's someone's given me, and I kind of like use it in my persona today, was we were doing a tape study once with Mike Mondo, and we were watching The Rock and Hulk Hogan, their WrestleMania match, and at the end of it, he was explaining how you don't want to just be a wrestler, you also want to be an attraction. So that kind of like stuck with me, like be an attraction, be what the people want to come to see, because you could do all of the fancy moves, but it's what at the end of the day gets the people to come see you. Because I can have a nice 5-star match, put my all into a match, and no one comes to see it, or I could do absolutely nothing, but then I have a whole crowd of arenas chanting my name. It's kind of like Rock and Hogan. They were in the beginning of that match. For a good like 5 minutes, they just stood there and stared at each other. Yeah, and just noise. Holy shit! This is also like we saw that similar with Danielson and Ospreay. Match didn't even start, and they're chanting AEW. Holy shit! This is awesome. Match didn't even start yet. So that's kind of like what I want. That's kind of like what I want to be, the level I want to be at. So I kind of like took that advice, and kind of that's why I'm like the top tier, the top attraction. the one of one, the
Right.
A1.
Okay. I wish I could say I saw the match, but unfortunately, I was out like a light, man.
And because those shows are long, so I don't even blame you.
It's not even that, dude. I went to Jersey for a show, and then I had to go
Oh.
upstate, and then I came back. I slept 1 hour. I went to work, and then by the time I got home, I started watching. I just conked out, and my
Yeah.
friend was over, and I was just out like a light.
That don't even blame you.
It was almost as if somebody roofied me, and I was out. I woke up the next day. I'm like, oh, fuck, I missed the match. I think the one I was looking forward to the most, actually, I don't think I know, was the Swerve match.
The Swerve. Yeah, I mean, like they were put in a tough spot because they were like right because it was Danielson and Ospreay, then the ladder match,
Right.
and then them. So they were putting like in a tough spot to say, okay, how do we keep the fans still,
Entertained.
after seeing, Ospreay versus Danielson, which 5 stars, and then the ladder match that was crazy because it's a ladder match.
Right. Interesting.
But they did it.
All right. They did it. Yes, they did, man. I'm so happy for Swerve, man. I'm a big Swerve fan. I didn't know him much in WWE, but once he first arrived to AEW and I started watching, I'm like, this guy's got something special.
It's kind of like I first saw him in WWE. Then he got released, but I kind of like had that kind of connection. Then I'm like, this guy Swerve is good. Let me go look at his other stuff. Saw his MLW stuff, and I'm like, oh, this guy had it. Then when he debuted the AEW, then now when this whole kind of whose house, Swerve's house started, I was sold on the guy ever since.
Now, I had a chance to chat with someone who was released not too long ago, and their attitude was like amazing, very positive, upbeat, and ready to go. And I'm like, man, this should be everybody when they get released because you hold your destiny in your hands. You can make yourself better. And Cardona is a great example of that.
That's basically
WWE released him, and he's bigger than what he was.
That's basically exactly. Like it's basically it's what you do. You can like as some people do, they just they fall down, they don't get back up, or you can be like the names like. Well, I wanted to say Jinder, but he just got recently released, so I'll just pick Drew. So Drew, who got released, went elsewhere, made a name for himself, came back, and now he's one of their top stars. Or we pick Cardona, who left as like nothing, and left as Zack Ryder, who no one really thought was going to be anything, and now he's one of the most talked about people in the Indies, making more money than he would have ever done if he had stayed in WWE.
WWE, right. I think another great example would be Mike Santana.
Yeah. Oh,
who recently signed with TNA.
Yes, because he originally was in AEW.
Right. In a tag team.
And exactly in the tag team AEW, part of the Jericho thing. So it's kind of like he was in there, but it's kind of like he was second to whatever Jericho was doing. Left AEW, made a name in the Indies. The Hog World Champion. I saw him win that championship against. I was there live when he beat Cardona.
You were?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was there live when he beat Cardona for the championship. So it's kind of like seeing where he was to what he did to now signing with TNA. Now is just.
I think that's great, man. I think he's super talented, and I'm glad he's doing the single stuff, trying to show what he can do. And I was lucky; I got the chance to meet him at Big Event.
Yeah.
And I shook his hand. Hey, how you doing? And I was with my friend PJ Savage, and he was talking to him and this and that. I'm like, dude, this guy's really down to earth, really nice.
That's not like
it's really awesome.
It's like you wouldn't know from like whatever character they play on TV,
right?
Like once you get like the meet from some of them, they're like just like you, down to earth people. Willing to give it. Well,
not everybody.
Not everyone.
I've had my bad experiences too. A1G.
I know about some, but I want to say a good majority of people.
Yes,
they're willing to give you advice. Say, oh, this is what I did. This is what I done different. This is what I would have done different. So I like that.
Right. Brianna says, "Have A1G in your podcast way more, please. This is awesome." I want to give some flowers to another person who is very down to earth, easy to talk to, and is really awesome. And that's Joey Conway. He is really awesome, really down to earth, always willing to help everybody out. And I think that's awesome.
He is. And thing about him is he's helped me way more than like anyone is like known, because my first like match on an NYWC show was Dickie Rod's, but like we do like private events. So
Right.
my first kind of like official match was against him.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so my first like time like going out in front of like a crowd. I think it was like a kids. Like I know we do
A birthday party?
birthday parties and stuff. Yeah. So that was like my first time, and he really like he took care of me. He helped me through it. He's like, we're gonna get through this. We got this. Kind of like easing my nerves, kind of like for like for my first ever like live crowd match, and it was surreal to where he was to what he's doing now. Flowers to him.
Flowers to that guy, man. I want to give some flowers to my boy PJ Savage as well. He is the same type of person, always looking out for everybody else. He is the executive producer of Chosen Pro Wrestling, and he is a big time wrestler, and he devotes his time for another brand that he's overseeing to help develop other wrestlers, and I think that's amazing work.
Exactly.
So shout out to PJ Savage. All right, man. I think we covered a lot of stuff today, A1G. We better save some of this for next time.
Exactly. Next time, baby.
All right. Let everybody know where they can follow you and where they can get some A1G merchandise.
You can get A1G merchandise. I'm wearing some right now.
Look at that. Top tier.
You already know. You can get it at any show I'm at. I'm at NYWC shows. You sometimes catch me at Remarkable shows. I'm gonna start coming to some VPW shows.
Come down.
Exactly. I'm gonna start coming to them, so you can find me there. You can follow me on Twitter or X at the A1G. You can follow me on Instagram at the A1G, and that's pretty much all I use. With 3 E's, A1G.
All right, make sure everybody follows A1G. As for me, I have tomorrow night, before I make one of my announcements, the cancer fighter, Sean Wachter. He's coming on. You know Sean very well. Sean's a great guy and a great pal of mine. And we're going to go over that card for tomorrow. April Rain, as you can see, we got Giorgio Lawrence. He's going to take on Cooper Valentine. My pal, Sal Savelli, will be in action. The one and only who's always yelling in my ear, Amity LeVay, will be there.
Oh, my goodness.
The Slime Balls from the NWA. Sage yelled at me too. So, all right. Sage and Tommy Rant. Tommy's my brother. What is up, Tommy? Dolly Darko, Joey Conway, and Mike Mashredder will all be there, as well as the rest of the NYWC roster, including A1G and Ruthless Lala, supposed to be in the building with Sammy Chaos.
Oh.
Woo! There's one hell of a show tomorrow night.
It'll be hard hitting.
So make sure everybody gets their tickets for NYWC's April Rain. There you go. And Izzy McKenna, they are having a tag team match at NYWC this Saturday, April 27th. Get your tickets for that event. Also want to make an announcement for See You Saturday. That's right, Brianna. See you Saturday. All right. An announcement. I'm going to have a very special guest next one, A1G. Straight up from the NWA, Mr. Wrecking Ball Legursky is joining me on the podcast next Thursday at 7 o'clock. We'll also be at Titan Championship Wrestling's next event on May 11th. And it just can't wait to get a chance to talk to Wrecking Ball about NWA, of course, Titan Championship Wrestling, and just like wrestling in general. Exactly. So make sure you check that out. I will also be having Mr. Brandon Beretta from SICW coming up next Wednesday, because I am taking a trip, A1G. I'm going to FanFest 2 in St. Louis, Missouri on May 18th. As you can see, there's top tier talent there.
Exactly.
Including Teddy Long, Holla at Me Playa, Sergeant Slaughter, Jimmy Hart. Man, the list is on and on. Make sure you get your tickets if you're in the area for FanFest 2, or if you're not in the area, make sure you drive down or fly in to FanFest 2. It's going to be a huge event. And you can also catch the Pub and commercial with SICW Wrestling on their YouTube channel. There it is, SICW All-Star Wrestling. Make sure you check them out. The latest blog interaction, Deck Math is out. As you can see, Amity LeVay is not very happy with me at the moment.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, why is she so angry?
She's I don't know why she's so angry. I told her she was off her medication, but you know, yikes. Also, my last vlogging track is coming out tomorrow. As you can see, Kai McKenna is the new Victory Pro Wrestling Women's Champion, new champ.
Okay.
She's on there as well as from Monster Factory, the God of Dad Bod, and Marvelous. And look at the crystal ball that Marvelous is holding out. Well, I don't know what he's doing, but find out on the last vlog interaction tomorrow, as well as your tag team partner, Alvin Alvarez, will be there with me on the vlog and on Saturday. And then from the free for all, I have Kada Sin coming on next Wednesday night at 6 o'clock. You remember her, right?
Oh, I do remember her.
She's coming on the podcast, and I'm so excited. I also got in June, since we talked about it earlier, Victory Pro Wrestling's Summer Showdown right there. We got Bryce Donovan, the Victory Pro Wrestling champion, the NY State champion, Dante Drago. Drago's the best. Leo Sparrow, who doesn't like me very much, but that's okay. I'm going to talk to him anyway. The Unwilting Tatiana, the tag team champs, Adam Kane, and Anthony Gangone, the big boofa, Desmond Cole. And returning to VPW, the one and only Gabby Ortiz. The Summer Showdown is happening June 8th at Victory Pro Wrestling in Bayshore Pro Game Athletics Arena, Long Island, New York. Don't want to miss that, man. Woo! Want to give a shout out to my graphics designer and official sponsor, Pickway Designs. Make sure you hit them up for your logo needs or web design needs. They have work. Oh, they do wraps too. Look, I didn't even know that. They do vehicle wraps as well.
Vehicle wraps?
They have worked with the Islanders on their website. So good stuff, man. Teaming up with them. Very excited for that. Thank you guys at Pixway Design. Man, I think I'm done talking. I've been fighting, I've been coughing. I think it's because of my asthma, so I just can't stop coughing. So I got to go see a specialist for that. See what's going on with my asthma. But A1G, thank you for joining us on the podcast. I will see you Saturday at April Rain. But stick around for a moment. Everybody else, have a great night, and we'll be back tomorrow night.